One more minute. No, I had more people registered. What happened? Where are they? Okay, let's get started. So we can get out of here. And those of you who are in my class and you're taking this, you're attending because you want a credit for 1 hour of water class activity. Tomorrow, pay attention. There's going to be a deflection assignment that I tell you about tomorrow, and it will be due Monday. Okay, so this is really an information session and a little bit of a workshop, I guess, on round 1 of PioBiz competition. Let's introduce you to the competition and what's involved. Did they take the, yeah, they always do this. They do this. All right, there we go. Does it work or not? On. Why does it work? Okay, we have a problem again. Try again. Okay, I give up. All right, so let's just go around the room. Quick pitch. Hi, I am blank. I'm here because I'm surprised.
Hi, I'm Zach Brown. I'm here because I want to compete in the competition.
You want to compete in the competition? Do you have an idea already?
Yeah.
All right. And do you have teammates?
Yeah.
Now, by yourself. All right. Very good. Welcome.
Hi, I'm Adam Hoffman. I'm here because I want an hour for my mom.
Is there any chances that this turns into competing in PioBiz? Any chances?
Maybe for 3 other hours, but
Actually, the competition boards 5 hours.
oh,
Yeah. So there you go. Okay, go.
hi, I'm Seth. I'm here because I also need some hours for our class.
Okay, and you may want to consider competing. Round 1 is very easy. And something else I want to tell you, round 1 is going to be very similar to your midterm project.
So hi, I'm Elizabeth, and I'm with this to learn more about it. I think it would be fun too. I don't really know.
Yeah. Okay.
Hi, I'm Melissa Sims, and I'm here for a credit for
Okay. Hopefully you will also think about something.
maybe.
All right. Okay.
Hi, I'm Maria. I'm here because I'm a little bit interested, but I'm also here for that 1 hour.
Okay. Hopefully be more interested after this.
Hi, I'm Jacqueline, and I'm here because of the class hours, and I'm also interested in possibly.
Okay. Good to know. Yeah.
Hi, my name's Sam Corbett, and I'm here for the 1 hour credit, but I might consider. Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm also here for my hour, but I might also end up competing. Depends on how this goes.
And I have to tell you, I just finished grading your assignment last time in class. Those of you who are in my class, ENTR 101, you guys have really good ideas. And you really aligned your skills and your passion and all that, came up with really interesting ideas. So those are all good competition ideas. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Zito. I'm from Japan. And I'm here because I'm interested in this PioBiz and also actually last semester I took her entrepreneurship class. One-on-one.
One-on-one, yeah.
Yeah, and final project I got one idea and I will see, it will work or not. But it's now take it to the next step.
Next level. Yeah. Okay, very good. Attending this workshop is not necessary. It's not a required thing for competing. And I wanted to make sure that you all know that. But wanted to share a little bit information about what is PioBiz. And I guess what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna just take you to the website. So it's marietta.edu/PioBiz. Watch this video this is a video that was recorded. Leah Seaman, who won the top award last year, is discussing her PioBiz experience. Here are some examples of the questions that you kind of try to inspire you to compete. What is the problem? That kind of thing. Talks about what PioBiz is, who can compete. I'm gonna go through some of them in my presentation, but I just wanted to quickly show you the website. And this is round one. So right here, the dates and the format and all the expectations, what is components of the poster and all of that, they're here. This template is really what you're competing with. You just fill in this 6 squares or boxes. They're not exactly squares. So that's really what it is. And then round 2 information is also here. Round 2 is later this semester. Round 3, the $10,000 round, is going to be next semester, in the fall of 2022. So today is a workshop application deadline. So it's not really immediately. We still have almost a month, a little bit less, 3 weeks for application. And then competition day is March 3rd. And this is going to be the gathering place. It's going to be, the format is going to be a poster presentation. You probably should come around 3:30, not no later than 3:30. What we do, we provide you with stands. And your posters will be printed for free. If you send them to us, not to me actually, you can send them to library. And if you just use the white background, not dark, because they don't want to use a lot of ink, they're going to do it for free for you. So all of that, once you apply, I get in touch with you and share all kind of information about, whether you want us to print your poster or you want somebody else to print your poster and so forth and so on. And the top 10 ideas. So usually, last year we didn't have poster competition because of COVID. We had it online. The year before we had poster competition and we had around 20 some ideas. And then top 10 win a monetary award. It's not much, it's just the beginning. But you're not also doing a lot of work for that. Round 2 is a bit more involved. It's proof of concept. This is where the awards, the monetary awards, go up a little bit, and there's a little bit more involved. Round 1, you just say, this is my product. This is the problem it solves. That's a problem, and that's how it solves the problem. And another thing that you're going to say there very quickly, because this is just a one poster, it doesn't have a lot of room for a lot of words. You're going to kind of highlight why your solution is better than other solutions. If there are other alternative products or services in the market, why is yours better? How is yours better? And then you also talk a little bit about this value added of your product, right? So again, we'll talk about it in more detail. So that's round one. Round two, proof of concept, builds on round one. And that's when you have to do a little bit of research to show us that this is really a feasible idea. And that means talking with people, stakeholders, potential customers, potential users, doing a little bit online search, digging a little bit into how much it costs to get started, that kind of stuff. Not a big thing, not huge. Round three, and so that is, we're gonna have a workshop for that right after the competition for first round. And then application deadline and everything is there. Competition date is the end. Is that the last week? I think that's the last week of classes, April 28th. That should be a Thursday. Is that right? I'm guessing. So actually, students in my ENTR 101 should be able to complete not only round one, but also round two, because round two will be very similar to your final project in this class. So this date probably will be very near the time that you want to, you will present your final projects in this class. So, so this one is presentation, it's PowerPoint presentation, 7-minute presentation followed by 7-minute Q&A segment with judges. And this last round, business plan competition, that will be scheduled for fall 2022. So you will have the entire summer to get help from me if you want to still continue, because this is not a $10,000 round, right? And so you need to develop a whole business plan. I'm making it difficult, but when you break it down into pieces, it becomes very easy, especially when I assign help to you, right? You will work with experts to put the pieces together, even if you're not entrepreneurship major, minor classes, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't matter. So, but you will have a whole summer to work on it. Last year's winner was not an entrepreneurship major. This year's winner in round 3 was, but last year's winner wasn't. She was an art, graphic design, studio art, something like that major. Okay, so who can compete? All full-time students can compete alone or in teams of all up to 4 members. One thing I want to say, if you have round 1 is so easy that if you have more than one idea, you can compete with more than one idea. Here's the first poster, this is the second poster, this is the third poster. Especially if you're in teams, you can do that very easily. But if you're by yourself, you make sure that the posters are near each other, because you have to stand there and kind of talk to judges and also audience will have questions for you. But also, if you, well, you guys are all married to college students, but alumni also can compete if they are recent graduates of Merit to College. Another thing about this competition that's very different from other campus college-wide competitions is that your partner doesn't have to be a Merit to College student. So you can partner with your mother, with your father, with your uncle, with your somebody you know that they have, but the business has to be a startup. It can't be established business. Right? It has to be startup, less than $10,000 revenue, that stage, right? But you can partner with anybody you want to, as long as at least one team member is Merit to College student. So that's what it says here on this slide. The money goes only to MC member, the team leader. So we will have a team leader, whoever that is, and then 3 more members, up to 3 more team members. The award money goes to team leader, and of course, the team leader can do it whatever they want to do with it, right? But I'm not gonna cut 4 different checks to all team members, just one to the team leader. What else is in there? So again, you may compete alone as a part of a team, or alone with 2 ideas, whatever you want to do, right? You can make multiple entries, complete multiple applications. That's what it says. These are all online. Now, a little bit of a quick information on junior PioBiz. That's the same kind of competition, very similar to round 1 of PioBiz competition, problem solution, only for high school students. Now, so that's the same thing. This workshop was open to them. That's why I'm recording the workshop, because I want to be able to send this to high school contacts, teachers, faculty, if they ask for it. Their deadline is different and the competition day is different, but basically that's also a problem solution competition. This is a template. This is the poster template for PioBiz, junior PioBiz or PioBiz. It's the same. So here you state the name of your product, problem, and solution, customer segment. That's very important. Whose problem are you solving? Who are this group of people? What do they have in common? Are they college students? Are they old people like me? Are they, gender, demographic, location? You want to kind of see who is it? Who is it that you're solving their problem? That's that. Why is this problem worth solving? So I'm gonna focus on that a little bit. Does it save time? Does it save money? Does it save environment? Does it save, a lot of stuff like that? So I will elaborate on that. Existing alternatives, are there other solutions to this problem? How do these people solve the problem right now that they don't have your product? What are some of the alternatives? Unique value proposition. If there are alternatives, you may say that there is nothing like that around here, and that's it. It's unique, right? But maybe there is something. Mine is better. Mine is cheaper. Mine is something more convenient. Mine is better quality. Whatever, right? You gotta have something that's special to you, right? So if you want to teach, what was it? Vocal, singing, who was it? Vocal. I mean, there's a lot of people who do that, right? So what is that twist that you want to put? I go to people's houses, for example. I go to their location. That will be something, some value added that you want to include that, right? Or that I teach on rock, or that, and there's, you have to think about how to make your product, your service, to be a little bit different from others. You always want that, right? A little bit better in some way or shape, right? So that's what goes in here. And why is this a problem solution competition? Because if you think about it, products and services are created to solve a problem, somebody's problem, right? When people buy products, they're actually buying solutions. I wish I could sing. So what's my solution? Take a lesson from me, right? So you're solving my problem. I'm buying solution. When you have customers or users, you have a business. Now, please pay attention. This is for-profit business or non-profit business, or any service or anything, right? When I say business, I'm using that word business very loosely. It could be social entrepreneurship, right? Still falls in the category of business, right? And so that's why I put customers there, or in parentheses, users. As users, I'm kind of saying that, you know, people don't have to buy your stuff, but they're benefiting from your stuff. You have a cool idea, but no, not many people are interested in your idea. You just have a cool idea, right? It's not really, you're not solving anybody's problem. Now, if you find a problem that has no solution, sometimes you get excited. We came up with a solution for a problem that nobody else has come up with a solution for that. Well, sometimes it's good news, sometimes it's not. Maybe the problem was not substantial enough to demand a solution. People whine again a lot, right? Complain a lot. So some of the complaints are just that. You know, this is inconvenient for me, but I'm not really looking to solve it, right? So you have to be careful. Is your product really solving somebody's problem, or that? And if it is, why hasn't anybody else come up with a solution? You gotta kind of be curious about that. Why hasn't anyone else before me come up with a solution for this problem? In this round, we want you to focus on the problem that your proposed product or service is solving. Now, I talked about, okay, what's a worthy idea, worthy solution, what is not. So this actually, you guys in Entrepreneurial 101, you have seen this before. You're going to see it in class. This is from our book. So classified idea classification matrix. What is it? Two things are measured here: value and usefulness, right? So and then degree of novelty. Degree of novelty from bottom up, it moves in that direction. Value and usefulness, it moves from right to left. So innovations are very highly useful and highly novel. Inventions is something that you invented, is new and novel, but not necessarily useful. So inventions are not, if invention becomes useful, then it becomes innovation, right? Innovation has both, you know, high usefulness and high degree of novelty. Down here, improvement, you just kind of twist something, right? You improve something. That is low on novelty, but high on usefulness. It's still good. Irrelevant products and services are those that are not useful, or they're not new ideas. So this is good. Innovation is good. Improvement is good. You don't want to go there. You don't want to invent something that nobody wants, right? And you don't want to come up with something that is neither new nor useful. All right. So we're going to do a little bit of the practice here. So this is worthy. This is not worthy. So when you're thinking about your product and service, remember, something that's very normal and unusual, if you put a twist in it, it becomes not more useful, more novel, and it's good. Right? So that is acceptable. Let's move on. Practice a little bit. So let's say you invented something like that. Where does that fit on our idea classification matrix? It is an invention. Is it also an innovation? Is there use for it? What do you think? Think about how many people may be interested in this. Who's interested? How big is your market? I will buy something like that. I like cool stuff. But it's definitely an invention. Or is it really invention or is it improvement? Where does it fit? So these four categories are very broad, very gross, just to give you an idea, okay? So who would buy this? How do you guys think? Would you buy anything like that? One? Anybody else? No? Not interested? Okay, but how about this one? Right? Save space. Where does that fit on this matrix? Huh? Innovation? Or maybe they're not very high, maybe around here? Right, right. This improvement, say, there's a bucket. Bucket is not a new thing, but space saving bucket is a good thing, right? There's a combined sink and toilet. And it's actually recycling. The sink water goes into saving water. So you wash your hands, then you flush. Where does that fit? You think it's irrelevant? Yeah. Okay. You guys agree?
In low water source communities and countries, it might actually be a very helpful invention or innovation.
Made a good point. So what is irrelevant to us may not be irrelevant elsewhere. Right? So if the price of water goes up, it becomes very relevant. Right now, water in this country, I mean, where I grew up, water was not cheap. Because, we didn't get a lot of water, not a lot of rain and a lot of stuff, right? So, yeah, that's a good point. Now, how about this one? It's, it fits above the sink to drain your stuff. Your
If you live in a
dishes.
small house or apartment, yeah,
Right?
that would have came in handy when I was living.
Yeah. So there's some relevancy here. So maybe an improvement to some people. Your market doesn't have to be mass market. Right? I'm not saying here that everybody should be interested in your product, but you should have people who live in tiny houses or tiny apartments, right? That's a good group of people that may be interested, and that there is a market for that, right? So when I say think about who is interested in your product, don't think that everybody should be interested, but you gotta have some group of people that you can kind of easily identify because you want to know where to put an ad for this, right? Because you don't have a lot of money to burn. So where do you go to actually communicate with your potential buyers? Right? These are reusable, I guess, or are they made out of wood? I don't know. I have a sample of this.
I think it's biodegradable.
Biodegradable, right? Saving environment, people are into it. There's a market for it now, right? I made that up, and I made it up based on an idea that a group of my students had last semester, and I think, and they're not here, none of them is here, but they, I'm hoping that they complete with that idea. And I just called it MC Reuse Store. A lot of big campuses have it. It's like a thrift store on campus. And so the stuff you don't need, whether it's clothing, whether it's stuff in your room, you just kind of donate or sell to this store, and others buy them, right? That kind of stuff. Is it useful? It's useful, yeah. And what, you know, I didn't want to call it thrift store because that's so old-fashioned, but thinking about the environment, space saving, you know, my closet is cluttered, but half of the stuff that's there I don't ever wear. Right? So declutter your closet, you know, and so maybe somebody else can use your stuff. Or when you graduate, or when you go home for summer and you don't need some of the stuff that you have in your room, you can just kind of donate or sell to this store. So that's the idea. Hopefully they will complete with that idea. And I'm sharing their ideas is that the reason why I'm sharing is that ideas are done with us. If you don't follow through, then they just remain ideas. Right now, there is a couple of my students that have that idea. But I'm not worried about you guys stealing the idea. You want to steal the idea and run with it, that's fine too. A little competition is fine. Because again, the winners are those who actually put their ideas into action. Otherwise, idea remains an idea. Okay, so food delivery, definitely useful. So probably around improvement here, walking, you know, dog walking services. Is it irrelevant? Again, this could be relevant in some areas, more relevant in other areas, depending on how many dog owners are there, what kind of jobs they have, this, so forth and so on. How about that? Can we all agree that this is this is irrelevant? I saw this, you know, are you walking? Why don't you also? But so that's a cool idea. I came up with a name for it. It's just my thing. I was just sitting there. I think that's your idea. Fun with language and culture. Service offered by MC International students. You can call it something else. But again, this is something. Tell us about your idea.
So we named it Culture to the Classroom. So basically it's like so we have 30 something international students here. And I think Mary College is more, you know, have more diversity compared to the rest of the place. So we're gonna send international students to local school, like high school, middle school, elementary school. And then international students are going to do some like authentic lesson or something.
Yeah,
Including
lesson culture, lesson.
Yeah.
Like this, I found this picture. I thought, right, okay, people want to know, they want to learn how to write their names in different languages, for example. And that would be something we can take to primary school, middle school. That would be fun. And then you can talk a little bit about, yeah. So that's a service that they want to provide. So the suppliers of the service are going to be Merita College international students, and the demanders are going to be local, middle school, high school, that kind of classes and students. All that. So that's your idea. Don't steal his idea. Because he's here. All right, this is a really cool. Where does this fit? I just wanted to show you some things that they're no-brainer. They are how you water your plants that way. So it's irrelevant, right? So that's totally irrelevant. But that is improvement useful, right? So you stir, you're cooking something, you stir your the pot and you don't know where to put it. You can just put it right there on. Okay, so that was just some examples. But what are the problems that customers usually have? Lack of time. They don't have time. So anything you can come up with to speed up whatever it is that they're doing, that's good. Lack of space, right? They may not have enough space. So anything you can come up with, maybe again, combining something with something, smaller space to take, or collapsible stuff. Think about if the bucket could be collapsible, what else could be collapsible? To take less space. People want to save money, right? Money saving, anything that saves them money, they are interested. Safer, maybe this is safer, than what is on the market. More accessible. They need something. Okay, here's another thing, guys. This is a small, middle high value area. We're not like in a huge New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, London, Paris, right? We're not there. But there could be stuff that we see in other places which they don't exist in this area. And so you make it accessible to customers in this area, potential customers. So that could be something you want to do. People may not have expertise. I don't know how to teach myself how to sing. Right? I don't have that expertise. So you have that. You guys have a lot of expertise that you don't even notice that you have. For example, let me tell you something. People in my generation and older have problem with technology. Anything technology, they have problem. What if you come up with a service that offers some kind of help with technology, mostly baby boomers, parents, think about your grandparents, right? That generation. Can you come up with something, a service or a product that make their life easier? People like variety, right? So yeah, there's a lot of stuff there, but I have this. And of course, this thing that I have has a twist, right? You want to create variety, there should be something special about your product or your service. People like to be entertained. Do we have enough entertainment around this area? Ooh, yeah. So that's something you can think about. People like anything that simplifies their life. So these are some ideas again to think about. Part of your poster, one box is devoted to unique value proposition. So what do I mean? What do we mean by that? Again, this is unique because it says, you see that there is some consistency, some overlap there. It saves time, it saves money, it saves space, it saves lives, it's helpful safety, it saves environment, right? It saves the need for frequent replacement, whatever it is. Mine is better, you just buy it once and you're done, that kind of thing, right? It's better, it improves your quality of life. It improves your ability to access, ability to use, all of those. And I was thinking about older population. Remember, if you want to kind of think about what is hot now and who are the people with a lot of needs and a lot of money. People with a lot of needs and a lot of money are older generation, most of them, right? And they do have some money to pay for certain services, right? And they do have a lot of needs. people, anything that has to do with environment, saving environment, reusing, recycling, is good. It's in. So take along those lines. So there's some things that are right now, and this was kind of a couple examples that I could give you that you can kind of focus on to come up with ideas. Now, as you search for ideas, I know a couple of you have ideas, others don't. How do you do that? You observe. You observe people. Are they active? Are they frustrated when they're using something? Are they complaining of something? Not just one person, not just once in a while, but a lot of people. Food, cafeteria food. Are we complaining about the quality of the food? I don't know. That kind of stuff. Are we?
Oh, yeah.
I just made that up. Okay. But watch, people watch. You gotta be people watching. And also observe when you go to different places, see what's going on there. Let me see. Oh, looks like I can't click on this. What happened? Oh, all right. This doesn't let me click on it. Why is that? Okay, so as a places, I had an example. Starbucks. The whole idea behind Starbucks, famous coffee shop, is not new. It existed in Italy. An American, I forgot what was his name, Schultz, I think. And that's where I have the link. I will send you this slide so you can kind of play, but I just wanted to show that this guy basically went to Italy, saw those coffee shops, came back to, I think, state of Washington, Seattle, duplicated almost with a twist. The coffee shops in Italy, they were very formal. Waiters were all, wearing bow ties and stuff like that, very, very, very formal. And he knew that that would not work in America. So turned it into a casual kind of place, a coffee shop, right? Products and services. Look at products and services. You own some of them. Are you happy with the way they work? Can they be improved upon? If so, how? Right? So again, think about something that maybe existed 10, 20, 50 years ago. You may not, how am I going to remember that? Well, you probably heard about them. Should we bring them back? Should we bring them back with a twist? Recreate them? I don't know. But vinyl records, right? Are they in? Yeah. Yeah. But my husband has a collection of 40 years ago, right? Whoa, right? So that's what I'm talking about. Something was hip, neat, people used a lot so many years ago. Maybe we bring them back. Right? So that's what I'm talking about. Mash and smash concepts together to create new things. And probably this is not going to show, but this is about Chipotle. Do we have a Chipotle? This area? Qdoba, which is not this.
It's similar.
Similar. But the front of the line was Chipotle. That's what.
Yeah.
Right? So what was the idea here? The founder, he was thinking, yeah, I want fast food, but I want good food. I don't want frozen hamburgers to be boom, boom, boom. They look like I eat them a lot, but that was his idea. I want good food, I want fresh food, but I want it fast. So when I say mash and smash concepts together, concept of fast food, healthy food together. Can you do that? And of course, now after that, Chipotle started their restaurants. Now there's a lot to go about. What's that? What? What?
Partners, it's like either Chipotle.
Oh,
It's like, there's one in St. Louis, and then it's like further down south.
What is it called again?
It's called Hotnets.
Hotcakes. I have not heard of.
Give it
Hmm?
nose.
Those?
The nose.
What is that?
It's like a burrito place as well.
Oh, okay. Now, one thing I want to say that you can't propose starting a franchise. That's not allowed. Like, for example, you don't, if there is a restaurant and then you want to say, okay, my idea is to have a franchise, a branch of that restaurant here, Highlands. It has to be a standalone independent restaurant. That's okay. Just wanted to mention that. You got to be alert. Pay attention. See things from the corner of your eyes. We all see them, but we are so involved in our routine. I am late to class. Oh, I see this thing. I don't care. We are like that. Most of us are like that. But entrepreneurs are. They kind of pay attention. They just take a mental picture, right? And they think about it later. And, whatever that situation is. Listen to people. Be curious. What do people complain about? What do your grandparents complain about? What do your roommates complain about? What do your teachers complain about? What are they saying? And then ask follow-up questions. Be curious. But before you rush to come up with the solution, you need to be careful. Number one, you got to make sure that you're solving the root cause of the problem. I'll give you an example for this in a second. Number two, you got to make sure that many people have this problem. It's not just your problem. You want some people to kind of buy your stuff, right? Not just one customer. And this is a real problem and not just a minor inconvenience. So, about root cause of problems. Dog odor is a problem. You want to solve that problem. What do you come up with? Don't talk. I say that. I do that in class. So, dog odor is a problem. You want to come up with a product or service that solves this problem. What is your solution? Air freshener. What's your solution?
Dog deodorant.
Dog deodorant. What's your solution? Dog shampoo. Dog shampoo. Some type of spray.
A candle that smells good but eliminates dog odor.
Oh, wow. Okay, candle. Fire Maria. Did this give you? Yeah, you look very fine. Okay. So what are you going to do to solve this problem?
I guess some kind of deodorant so we wash for the dog.
I don't know, because the dog's the problem, so.
Huh?
I said, I don't know, because the dog's the problem.
The dog is the problem?
And the dog's kind of deodorant, the dog's the
Is
problem.
that your problem? You don't mind the order? Well, think about it. You got to find out what's the reason for it, right? Is it because there's nothing to wash the dog with? If that's the case, then solution is creating yet another dog shampoo. But no, probably that's not it. Because if you just go to any store that sells pet supplies, you see a shelf full of a variety of dog shampoos. So you don't want to necessarily come up with another shampoo. Right? But maybe it's because the dogs don't enjoy bathing. That's why their owners. You guys have any dogs? Do they enjoy bathing? No.
I have one that does.
I have one that does, yeah. Right. It does? Oh, so, but if that was the case, then what would you create to solve this problem? What would the solution
Something
be?
that sticks on the wall, that you can put peanut butter on.
Okay, there you go. So that's totally different from dog shampoo. Right? So we need to ask, why? Why is it the case? What is the root cause of the problem? So this really requires a totally different solution than that one. Dog hair clogs the bath drain. And so that's why we don't want to wash our dogs. Outside.
Some people.
In
have
this
little
weather.
There's drain covers.
Okay, but so then that doesn't require a shampoo or a toy. It requires another solution.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to go with this. Bathing dog takes too much time. People are lazy. What if this was the root cause of the problem? What would the solution be? Right. Or you can bring, okay, so what you want, but there are so many of them around. But what if you came to dog owners? So you had a van. I think there's a couple of them, right? So there you go. That's totally different. It's a service rather than a product, right? So my point here is that don't immediately create the product in your head or on the paper until you know what is the root cause of the problem. Do we need another shampoo? Do we need a deodorant? Do we need a clog cover, something to cover the bathtub so the hair doesn't clog the drain? What do we need, right? Do we need a dog toy, especially for the bathing time or something like that? That makes sense, right? So make sure that this is not just your problem. Who else has the problem? Everyone? No, I'm not asking you to create something that solves everyone's problem, right? Not necessarily. But there should be other people besides you who have this problem. Because a lot of times, guys, immediately when we think about problem solution, we think of our own problem. Or want to solve our own problem. And that's okay. But it should be a common problem. Some other people having that problem. Are they younger people? Are they college students? Are they senior citizens? Are they high school students? Are they men, women, people who live in a certain area? Who are they, right? So you got to make sure that, again, this is not just your problem, it's a group of people's problem. Is it a problem or is it a minor inconvenience? So how do we know? How do we distinguish between something that's a real problem and something that's very minor inconvenience? How do we know? How can we separate them?
I think the real problem is something that you can live every day.
So
Like you can't put up with it.
okay. That is definitely a real problem.
Your problems don't disrupt your day.
Disrupts your day. You guys talking about frequency of the problem. The problem could be infrequent, but affect a lot of people. A lot of people have it. For example, you don't want to be entertained every day. but once a week, you want to make sure you have a source of entertainment, right? That's what I'm going with that. Have you taken any econ classes yet? No? Nobody? Okay, you probably will take something, I'm sure. Oh, no. Education studies, no. But in econ, we say, this is a test. Will people pay to buy your solution? Then that's a problem. Will people pay for your lessons? May have to tell me about a problem that you would not pay to buy a solution for. I'm going blank. I'm done. You have a problem, but you won't really pay to solve the problem. You won't pay to buy a solution. And some people may not. Right? I am fat. My problem is I'm fat. And there's a lot of weight control places, right? But for me, I won't pay. Because I know I have to eat less. Intake and move more, right? So that was not a good example because there are solutions like that out there, and there are people who are interested. I've never subscribed to any kind of weight loss anything because I think I have to do it myself. It wasn't a good example, but I'm kind of drawing blank on what are some things that people complain about, but they won't necessarily pay. Or another test is, will people really benefit from your solution? You know, if you're thinking about nonprofit, maybe, or community service and something like that, of course, you're not selling your solution, but people really benefit from your solution. It improves their life. So that could be another test for that. All right, so this is all on the website, so I'm not going to go over, but the application is the link to the application is on the website. But these are the components, the questions that you have to answer on the application. Clear description of the problem, clear description of your target market. And I say clear as you can. Because right now you're sitting and thinking about it. You didn't even test your assumption, right? I think women between the age of 25 and 50 will be interested in my product. Not sure, but I think that's the case, right? That's all we want at this stage. You don't have to do any research. Why is the problem worth solving? How desperate are your target customers for a solution? Again, you're not doing any research this time. This is just your assumption, right? Next time is when you do research to answer the same questions. What are the existing alternatives? How do your customers, potential customers, solving this problem? There is no existing alternative. Now for you, maybe just online sources, right? That's the closest alternative for your product that teachers have access to. But that's not really a good substitute for what you want. You can offer. So that kind of stuff. You gotta be fair. You gotta acknowledge there are other alternatives. You clearly describe your product or service and how it solves the problem. And unique, what is the advantage? What's that twist? What is it? So what's special about your particular product? even if there is 1,000 different varieties of this product on the market, what's special about you? That's unique value proposition. All right, on time. Because we're finishing. Thank you for ending this. Okay, guys, do you have any questions or?
I have one about class.
Yeah,
Tomorrow's assessment is through,
assignment.
Assignment is through,
And there is gonna be 2 questions.
okay.
Since you're here, I'm gonna tell you, because I just made it up. There are gonna be 2 questions, but you choose to answer one. And the questions, to study for questions, the last question, 5 questions on chapter 1, first 5 questions on chapter 2. Perfect. All right. And then 2 questions, you answer one. Okay. What else? Beautiful. Yeah,
So about poster, so there's a template.
there's a template on the website.
Yeah, and we have to use that one or maybe like create some other
You can create some other, but those
include.
that information. Yes, that was just a suggested, showing a simple, these are the stuff we want you to include on the poster. You can get creative. This is entrepreneurship. You want to set yourself apart and just kind of do I don't know what? Fine. Right, that's good. Plus, you can also bring objects and stuff if you know, on the side, because you're standing there next to your poster. What else? So did this inspire any of you to compete? A little bit, a lot. Yeah, this round is very easy. Look at this. Don't look at this as an opportunity to network, to meet people, to improve your communication skills, persuasion skills. That's, you know, we're gonna have 4 judges. We're gonna walk around, we're gonna communicate with them. This may turn into an internship, this may turn into a job. You know, those are all fringe benefits of getting involved in this type of events on campus. And when you say this and that, you don't have to act upon it. This is just an idea at this stage, right? Round 1 is just an idea, problem solution. This is my idea. And you receive feedback, right? And then that determines whether you're serious or not. What are you going to do with your degree in education? Maybe you want to do something on your own. And this is a starting point, right? Think about all of your degrees. If at some point, not maybe tomorrow, not next year, not right after graduation, but at some point you want to own your own business, be a freelancer, this is a good start. Okay. Go Pios.
Go Pios.
Yes. See ya.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah.
For 10 through 15 and 1 through 5. 2 questions.
Yes. You answer 1.
We answer 1.
Yep.